Hi, I'm Callie from Soulcraft Sisters, and welcome to the star sign readings for spring 2017. And I just want to say before we get going, this is a general reading, and the intention here is to give you a bit of inspiration, perhaps an added perspective to the things that you are already noticing and feeling and reflecting on. So see this as sort of a touch of inspiration in terms of how you can approach and become aware of the themes that are playing out in your life right now and over the next 3 months or so. And I want to say, of course, this is a general reading, so if you want a personal reading, a private reading, then I've designed something called the Compass, which is like a twin to this star sign reading. But you can read more about that in the commentary box below. And other than that, if you feel like this would be of interest to anybody you know, then feel free to share it with your loved ones. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's flip some cards and let's see what delicious messages are wanting to come through to us at this time. Hello Libras, and let's have a look at the card that I pulled for you from my Tao Oracle decks. The main theme, message, energy, you could say, print that's coming forward for you guys is symbolized through this card here, and it says opposition. Beautiful card. Okay, and some of the keywords down here, it speaks of having opposite viewpoints, personal differences, communication gap, disharmony, misunderstanding, and this notion of estrangement that comes from this. So there are some really profound learning experiences that are waiting for you over this springtime. How exciting, right? And it all has to do with engaging with other people, especially people who think and do things differently to you. Okay, so I think you are, normally you speak of Libra as being very, they love to be in balance, harmony is important for them, being considerate, being honest is some values that you hold dearly. But there seems to be something that's challenging you a little bit regarding this at this time. And also there's something when you get a little challenged, when life gets a little tough, and you feel a little bit out of balance, what can happen for you guys is that you can become a little bit complacent, a little bit inactive sometimes, and also like nothing seems adventurous for you, right? So there's this sense that can happen for you. You sort of just stop moving, or you just sort of move senselessly, I could say. But what I want to say here is that, and this can happen to all, I'm just saying, but the profound learning experience that is coming through to you is this sense of engaging with people and with notions of um, seeing things basically just from a broader perspective, taking a step back. So for example, when we experience joy, we also can experience sadness. They're not two separate, they're actually part of the whole, let's say, part of an emotional spectrum that we have access to. They're not separate, they are two sides of the same coin, because they you could say some support each other or contour each other, so to speak, and show their unique qualities, positive as negative, as well as negative, you can say, but they're part of the same thing, just like light and dark. I could go on, life and death. They sort of oppose each other, but they are also a part of a whole. Yeah, and that's how you need to see things and situations and people around you as well, and be curious about it instead of severing ties with people. As sometimes that is important to do, especially if it's really weighing you down. But other times, if it's just a matter of you having your defenses up, or defending some opinions that you have without consideration for the other's viewpoint. Just what I want to say is that your potential for growth is actually being curious about these people, these situations that seem to oppose you, because the energy you put into creating a common ground and actually listening and questioning, with an open mind and open heart, is going to be so um, mm, good for you. It's going to really, there are going to be some unexpected benefits in this for you, and I'm hoping this is making sense to you. So there's something about gaining a broader perspective, cooling your defenses a little bit, and creating space to really understand others' viewpoints. So that's sort of the main theme that's coming through here. And don't be too quick to cut somebody off because they're different or you don't agree, okay? Because this can really lead to some new insights, like really. So yeah, and also remember that if you're experiencing difficulties in communication, because it says a communication gap, remember that that can always be overcome, always, especially if you have a sincere desire. Of course, both parties need to have this, but you can start with yourself. If you have a sincere desire to accomplish harmony in this relation or situation, then that can happen, no matter how it looks right now. Okay, so maybe you want to play around with that a little bit and see what happens when you change your perspective to certain things. Be trusting, okay, because this can really deepen your bond with other people. Yeah, so just create this atmosphere of respect, and allow other people to express their thoughts, their emotions, without being fearful of retribution or like being punished somehow. So if you can really enter into that space and help create it, that's going to be so beautiful for you and the people around you. Okay, and the last thing I want to say here, this card is also, it also speaks of not taking yourself too seriously, and perhaps adding a bit of humor to these things, because that can really sort of loosen things up and dispel some skepticism that might be, you know, and it's a great way again to sort of find common ground and create this trusting atmosphere, right? So that's what I wanted to say about this beautiful card here. So let's have a look at some more cards, and I pulled some from my Druidcraft Tarot, and the card that came up for you in terms of what can help you, what can you do more of, what can you bring more awareness to, it's going to support you in this process and these learning experiences that are ready for you. And we have this beautiful card, and it says Rebirth. Now this is a major arcana card. It's almost at the end of the circle, or at the end of the major arcana road, so to speak. The last card is the World card, and then it sort of tips over, and that's another story. Anyway, what I just wanted to say is that this is like you're hearing the call, you're understanding that your perspectives need to change, or you're ready to change your perspectives. It's like you've been through some experiences that have really pushed you perhaps to your limits, and you understand that your sense of ease and well-being will really somehow grow or multiply, something like that I want to say, by making some changes. And here what I see is this little child here, this little boy, and he comes out without his armor, right? He's just he's ready to experience something for the first time. He's listened to the call, and it's like you've probably, the feeling I got when I pulled this card was that you've been hiding away in this castle, and that's been your reality up till now. And now it's like, let's take a video game analogy. It's like you've graduated or you finished one level, and now you're sort of ready to see new levels that you couldn't even imagine existed. Like so it's that big. It's really that big. So it's something that's these changes and these experiences that you will learn, something that's going to be a life changer for you going forward. So I'm excited for you guys. Really am. Yeah. Um, and it's going to be so fruitful for you. And you can expect unexpected benefits from this. Yeah. So just sort of go with it. And when you see it and when you feel yourself reacting in an old way, go, this is a perfect opportunity to practice this, to practice trust. And yeah, and all this that we just spoke of. And I also pulled a card for what can you perhaps tone down a little bit at this time. And you get this card, and it's the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is a beautiful card. It speaks of independence. It speaks of this woman here who's standing in her own garden, and she has created this foundation through her own hard work and efforts, and she's feeling good about herself and what she's achieved, right? So what I want to say is just that it can also speak of going things and doing things alone, and sometimes that's beautiful. We need to experience that, what it's like to be sovereign and creating things of your own accord, and not sort of maybe needing others to achieve things. That's beautiful. But life is also about connections, and it's about expansion, and it is about growing with other people. I truly believe that. So I think we're meant to be to mirror ourselves in other people and to learn from that. It can be challenging, yes, but it can also be hugely beneficial. So what I want to say is that yes, you're an independent, beautiful soul, and sometimes it's really nice to just be there in your own garden. But I would like to challenge you to open that the fence and go outside. You know, like this. Go outside. It doesn't take anything from you in terms of your independence and your sovereignty. It really doesn't. So I'm hoping this is making sense for you. These are the messages that wanted to come through for you for this springtime, and I think it's super beautiful. And please write to me if any of this resonates. I would love to hear about that. So at the very end here, I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and sharing. Much appreciated. And yeah, just enjoy life, you know, the light with the dark, the sweet with the bitterness. It's all part of the same cake. Enjoy, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.